Good morning. And yes, I see the time. It's 2:22, not 4:44. I've been awake an hour and a half already. But I've had some exhausting days back to back, and I laid down finally in the evening yesterday evening, and uh, I probably fell asleep between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. That's a guess because I was listening to a video that's an assignment for the next workshop that Margie sent. And I remember listening to the beginning of it, but at some point in time I went off and didn't wake up till past midnight. So in any case, I am starting at 2:22 today, and the title that I've selected is OPPT is Advanced Staging for Worldwide Jubilee. As I've been working on my response to the federal court that seems to be up to the old tricks, I have been working on incorporating the One People's Public Trust documents and facts into my case. Yes, that does have bearing, whether or not the court recognizes it at this time or not. They will. Everyone will come to see in time how the foreclosure on the corporate control grid will affect everyone and everything. Most still have no idea. This OPPT is a real game changer, as I've said before. It is the can opener that will open up a world of possibilities the human race has never known, including Jubilee. That will be a worldwide celebration of freedom and a rebirth of Renaissance. As I said, the last couple of days especially, Saturday to some extent, but yesterday and the day before, I didn't even take naps. I mean, I normally, most days, attempt to lay down either late morning or early afternoon and catch at least an hour or two if I can, but oftentimes it's not that much of rest, because as everyone knows, I get 3 or 4 hours sleep basically a night, sometimes over 4, but not very often. And I try to catch up by sleeping 2 different parts of the day, a shorter time and a longer time. And that's been a pattern of mine for a good while. Certainly, since I've been doing these videos, it seems to be the norm. In any case, the legal study and what goes into the preparation of court documents and responses is much more than most people realize. There are many things that I have to look up and try to gain an understanding as best I can of how to put it all together, and then I'm writing down things, and then I have to reorganize them and put them in a sequence that makes sense, because sometimes I'm just putting down disjointed bits of information as they come to me, and I've got to assemble all of this into a document that someone's going to read, and it needs to at least be a rational document, something that is relatively easy to understand, and one thing follows another in a somewhat of a proper sequence. And then the other thing that I do that maybe not everyone does that presents court cases, everything that I do, I send certified mail. And when you do certified mail, for those that don't know, you have to fill out the little certification slip. I don't have one with me here in front of me. Also, the return receipt card has to be filled out. The envelopes have to be addressed. And everything, of course, has to be assembled. All the exhibits and the document that you're putting forth, they all have to be assembled. The documents, the official document, the main document has to be notarized, photocopies made, all has to be inserted and goes into the envelope and then taken to the post office and mailed. So it's a long process. And today I also have a court. I have to finish that mailing process and assembling process this morning. That's not done yet. And of course, I did get my metagroups stuff done last night, for those that don't know. And I'm saying all of this for a reason, because I have people yanking at my shirt sleeve saying, I want to talk to you. I want to have questions. And I've been putting off my phone calls. I've not been communicating with people on the phone, spending time on the phone. And I just don't have time. I mean, I want you to understand, and I'm trying to get that across to people that listen, that I have to take care of my stuff. I have to do that. And then I have a meeting tonight, and again, my court trial is today at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Vieira courthouse. So I have another hugely busy day. And again, today, I'm not going to be able to respond to people. And tomorrow, I'm probably going to have to play catch up on some other things that I've been putting off because I haven't had time. But this is the situation that I'm in. But as I've been putting together these court documents, I've been looking again more closely at the One People's Public Trust and recognizing the tremendous implications of what Heather and the other two trustees, Caleb and I forget the other name, have done for humanity. I mean, this is the most substantial, groundbreaking effort that I have seen from all of the people that have been trying to restore the republic and restore personal sovereignty and freedom for everybody around the world. There's been a lot of people working at it from different angles. The One People's Public Trust, to me, from my point of view, is the most powerful thing that has ever come down the pike. This accomplishes for humanity what all of the other remedy seekers have laid out before us. This is the one thing that's going to ultimately change everything. But it will not happen, as I've said before, overnight. It cannot. Can you imagine if they sent out money, lots of money, to everybody on the planet all at once? The whole planet would shut down, at least for a while, till people came to their senses. I mean, you couldn't even go celebrate because who's going to be there to cook your food? Who's going to be there to serve it? Who's going to be there to do the jobs that need to be done that keep society running? These are things that are practical things that we have to figure out how we're going to move from a poverty consciousness, a consciousness of limitation, into a consciousness of abundance, and how we're still going to be able to keep the system operating smoothly. There has to be a bigger revelation to a bigger number of people, at least an actual majority of people, not like 10% or something like that. An actual majority, more than 50% of the people at least have to be awakened so that we can maintain some continuity of a system that meets everybody's needs. Because we're all going to be responsible for meeting our needs and serving others. Serving others is part of meeting our need. I want you to see that. That's part of what the One People's Public Trust will trigger for humanity. We have to come to our senses in a greater way than we've ever shown before. It's not going to be Big Brother taking care of us anymore. I want you to understand that we are responsible, and Big Brother, the players in the Big Brother game, are also responsible under the One People's Public Trust. There's no more skirting accountability. There's no more limited liability. It's full liability for our actions. Every one of us are accountable to everyone else, to the whole. It's a collective mentality that has to develop as we are granted our individual freedom. This is something that I want to try to make clear, and I'm working on making it clear for myself as well. How is it going to work? Bear in mind, the debt through the One People's Public Trust which the economy is a debt-based economy. All of that debt has been transformed into assets for the people because the people are the real value. I've said that many times in past videos. We, the people, are what provides the value for the system. The system has inverted everything. Everything has been inside out and upside down, including the courts, including the banking system, including the business model. Everything is backwards. Everything is insane. And the insanity is something that we have become accustomed to. Now, what happens when all of a sudden we get a jolt of reality? It says, everything you've been told is wrong. Everything you've ever learned about what is true isn't. What are you going to do with that information? How are you going to handle it when you're told you're actually a billionaire? You're actually a billionaire. What are you going to do with that information? Most people aren't even remotely ready to handle that kind of knowledge, that kind of responsibility. So there's going to have to be a lot of people serving a lot of other people. And it's the people that are given much that will be first to handle probably some of the assets that will be distributed. They will be the ones that will be most in service to everyone else. And it needs to be that way. It's not, well, now I can take a vacation and be lazy. No, we're going to have to work harder than we've ever worked before, because we're creating a new world. And OPPT is the foundation for that world. It is actually setting the stage for everything that's going to come before. The debt is gone through the OPPT. It's gone. It's erased. But the benefit of that erasure has not reached most of humanity yet. It has not even dawned on the people that have been in the control system. It hasn't even dawned on them that there's been a change. It still remains unknown to the majority of the world. But that doesn't matter. The part that does know is shifting everything. And exponentially every day, thousands upon thousands of people are discovering this and beginning to focus in and tune in to the implications of what has occurred at the latter part of last year. 2012 was the year of change. Indeed, it was. The One People's Public Trust was perfected on Christmas Day, 2012. Okay? That's everything that's coming now is new energy. This is fifth dimensional co-creation energy of making the world over and redressing the issues, addressing and redressing the grievances that have bogged us down and keeping us imprisoned on the planet that we were born on as human beings. And again, we are spirits having the human experience. So we are infinite beings, and that's what the One People's Public Trust does. It takes us back to ground zero, to the point of creation, to the point of incarnating, of spirit incarnating as flesh. And we're going to understand more and more what that means and the great gift that is to us. We've seen it as a curse because, again, everything we've been taught is wrong. It's backwards. It's not the whole truth. At best, it's a partial truth. At best. But most of it, because it's only been a partial truth, has been distorted so that we have not been able to see clearly who we are and the beauty and responsibility of the world that we live in. Yes, we're given dominion, and we've really screwed it up. We've really screwed it up as human beings, but we didn't know any better. So let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive those that seem to be our oppressors, especially once they wake up and realize they're not going to be able to oppress us anymore. Let's move into a realm of greater love, greater compassion, greater understanding, and recognize that we're changing everything. God is doing it through us. Okay? Spirit is doing it through us. We are the ones we have been waiting for. You've heard that before. It is true. We are the ones, and we are becoming the empowered ones, the enriched ones, the enlivened ones, the transformed people of the earth. Homo sapiens is becoming Homo luminous, or you could apply other names too. We're lighted beings. This is the enlightenment. This is the dawning of a new age. Whether you like that or not, it's the transition period between the old and the new. And things are going to continue to happen with greater rapidity. There is an acceleration and a proliferation of knowledge. And the truth contained in that knowledge is the truth that sets us free. It's what we've been waiting for, but we are the ones that are going to have to do it. It's going to take, as I said, lots of work and taking responsibility and a willingness to serve. Serving is freedom. That may not sound right to you, but freedom is not going off and doing your own thing and not caring about anyone. That's not freedom, because that's not who we're designed to be or how we're designed to be. We're designed to be in relationship to one another. And that's another whole subject that I don't even want to get into, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. I need to take a breather from that for a while. Anyway, this is my message for today. And I thank you once again for listening. And may God bless you. Namaste.